Hey guys, it's Diana. I'm going to tag you guys. Sorry about that. I had a little late start today. I think I painted my glasses. They tag you guys. Choo, 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 choo. They got a little area here where I could tag everybody a couple times. Just need some paper and pen. If not, you can do it another day. But I got everything ready. My grandson's living here now, so he had orientation this week. I didn't realize that he'd be getting out 6:30 every day. His orientation wasn't that long. Doing a lot of overtime. So, not sure what I'm going to do about that right now. It might be more like 6:45 for now. He's looking to get a car and stuff. He's got to make some money first, you know. He's making good money now. He's all excited. He loves his job. Let me just do it again. Anybody heard from Lori? I'm going to give her a little text. I'm worried about her. I know she was working a lot, but she's had some health issues too. So she had COVID too, I believe. I don't know. Everybody's been sick. All right, so I'm going to get started here. I'm going to put this up. It's nothing really big tonight, but these things you're going to need to know. Actually, a couple of these are going to probably come in handy this week when we start our painting. First thing, I think I went over this with you before, and I wanted to show you. Let me get a couple colors out. Is color temperatures. I put a video, or I put a piece of paper up there for you of this, so you can download this if you want. This is very helpful. Now, it's not like a regular color chart. What it's showing you is what's warm, all your oranges and reds, and what's cool. But it can be really weird when you're trying to figure it out with the paint, which we've talked to before. Now, you guys have been doing your color blocks, and if you've been doing them for different things, you're going to see different colors to different things. We talked about brown, so let me show you a couple yellows here. They're all different yellows. And to you, they would all be warm, right? Well, not necessarily. What else we got? We got these three yellows. Let's put them down on the... Let's say this one's a little cooler. Get a piece of... I'll get a brush of some type here. Been crazy. I gotta go up and get all my Thanksgiving stuff for Halloween stuff up from the place up there. Didn't sell a hell of a lot. I really didn't have time to mess around with it. They just got their point of sale system, if you know what that is, fixed. So I really couldn't keep track. So now that's all fixed and I seen what I sold. But I had like, I'm on a roll today. Well, I guess I'm just gonna use a piece of paper here. One of my notebooks here. I wanted to use a little Alright, so here is a little piece of paper to put these paints on. Now I'm going to get these different yellows out. And you can even look at these in the bottle and you can see that there's definitely, you know, light yellow and dark yellow. But there's brownish yellows, golden yellows, Indian yellows. Hey, I'm on the internet, thank you.
What?
I can get in trouble if they hear any swear words. Facebook.
Sorry. I didn't notice it. I didn't know you were on.
I know, yeah, well, you gotta be careful. They love putting people in Facebook jail. I don't think you can hear them, but Told you that one day, I don't even know what happened. I wasn't playing music, so. Alright, so here are the three yellows. If you take like this apple barrel golden sunset, and then this is, it's called Indian yellow. Alright, and this is a lemon yellow. And these are Sargent paints. They come in the gallons. But look at the difference in the yellows. Now we're not talking about light, medium, and dark. What I'm talking about is the temperatures of them. Now this temperature in this yellow is right about in the middle. But here is that sunset, which is kind of a rusty color. Rinse it off. And then here is the lemon yellow. Now notice how transparent and see-through that color is. That's something you would use in a wash. It's transparent. Now this yellow is very close to this yellow. Now with a jaundiced eye, you know, an artist's eye, you'll notice that these are a little more orangey. So these are warmer. When you go to use these on something, you have to think about, and this one has, it is a very neutral color. That's the, I use all the time, a yellow ochre. It's got blue in it. It's not quite so orangey. And this is a definite yellow. You could use this with something cool. But you see how see-through that is? It's almost, you can just like see right through it. Doesn't cover well. But this is a great color for using for doing washes. But there's a difference in the base of each color. It's not the color so much as the base of it, what they use to make it. Let's find another yellow. That's why sometimes when you go and you buy a yellow in a different company, it's not quite the same. Now here is my good yellow ochre. But they're very similar in color. This is a more expensive yellow. This is the same, almost very similar to this one. But see there, if you're looking at this, it has almost a green-blue base to it. It's not quite as yellow as you would think. But they're all warm. They're all warm colors. All right? So you probably get that figured out. And warm colors are, like it says in the chart here, they're closer to red. They have heat to them. Cool colors are those closer to the blue end of the spectrum. This is like a rainbow. So when you're looking to use different colors on something, you can't figure out what's wrong. It's probably, like I told you, it's probably that. So those are your cold or your cool colors, okay? So this one here and this one here would actually both be cool colors. The base, not the color themselves. So let's get some, what can we use? How about some greens? Let's try some greens. It's really not that complicated, folks. It sounds complicated, not complicated. All right, so I just wasted this paint. Let's get some, let's rip this right here. Who's on here? Hey, Kathy Joe. Just going over the warm and cool color thing again. That's all. Sorry I was late. My grandson's working that job now. I get a good job. He's doing overtime already. It's only been a week. First 2 days was orientation. I didn't know I'd be working at 6:30 at night, so I don't know what we're going to do about that. But my house has gotten worse, so my daughter's going to be staying. From the sounds that we're going to talk, she gets down here. She told work. So that's going to make it a little bit easier for me. It's kind of hectic. Whatever. He's okay, but, you know. Anyway, so we get these greens, so I had to pick him up from work. Now this green, I told you before about this one. This one is a Sargent paint. It comes in the gallons. Let me get like, yeah, some kind of green. Where's my sap green? That's a good example of a green. Your green, like all your other colors, like your browns, which I had showed you before, and your blues. Some are going to have a cool base and some are going to have a warm base. And it sounds crazy, but it's true. So even though you know what the warm colors are, like this red would be a warm color, the yellows, the oranges, and your blues and greens would be a warm color or a cool color, the base of that color makes a difference. And that's when we get on to explain the washes to you. It might make a little more sense why it's important. It's not like a big deal. I don't use this oh, here's a blue. Try the blue too. So this is kind of a bluish green. Little blue. Let's do it. What else we got? Here's say, oh no, that's yellow. I have got stuff torn out. I had a bunch of stuff going up to the other place up there. Oh, it's a long story. I don't know what happened, but she started yelling at, or on the internet. She started charging people $25 an hour if they don't do their pricing right. She had 2 systems up there. She's still trying to figure the second one out. Might be she's the problem. Yeah, so they call, I don't know, POS system, point of, you can tell I'm not really quite ready for all this stuff here. I want a green. Ah, here's green. This one's a Kelly green. This, I think these all have like a blue base to them, which makes sense. That has a little more yellow in it, you can see. The green. Some of these will be kind of obvious that there's a yellow base, like this one. See, they're all cool colors. Every one of them is cool colors. Every one of these is a cool color. All right, they're all cool because they're greens and blues. They're closer to the violet. But when you go to do something and it's not working, it's too green or not green enough, it might actually be what's in the base. There's a lot of yellow in this base. It's very transparent too. When you put that on, you can see through it. You're not going to get a lot of coverage out of that paint. This one has a definite blue base, but there's still more yellow in it than there is in this one. Now this one has a blue base. I mean, you look right at it. You can see the green, but there's blue in there too. So let's say you made a bunch of trees. I'm going to do this on here for you. And you did these 2 colors. I say you did these 2 colors. You made the trees. Make some trees. And I don't know. They're not looking, they need more yellow. So you can either you make a rinse like of one of the yellows and the lighter yellow greens after this is dry, and you would actually take a lot of water and you would keep putting the washes on until it tones it down. So we'll get into a little more of that. So that's why sometimes the base is important. Because if you went back over that with a wash of the same color, you ain't getting nowhere. You got to have the right color over the top. All right. So we just did all the cool colors. I got a blue on there too. I just put it on there. But you can see the blue. You put it next to this. Let's pull some of this off. You can see some of the blue in that color. So this just comes with, you'll figure this out as you go. But these little thoughts on how to use them a little bit better. We've done this before. All right, so now I'm hoping you guys know what the primaries are. Do you know any of the primaries, Kathy, what they are? Do you know what they are? There's only 3. Yeah, there's only 3. It's red, yellow, and blue. Very good. All right, so then there's your secondary, which is red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green. I'm missing one. I get my mind's everywhere. Orange, green, and hey, Jim. Orange, green, and violet. Oh. All right. So that's your secondaries. Fortunately, when it comes to the color wheel, those are the only colors that matter, your primary and your secondary. There is a tertiary, which I can never pronounce, which is like 3 colors. But I don't worry about those so much. I just relieve there's only 5. All right, we talked about the white. This is what a lot of this went over last time. White, it isn't like, it's not really a color. It's just it hasn't got any color in it. If you're like on the rainbow, you look at a rainbow, there's no white in it. But you need it to adjust the other colors, all right? And black is actually a concentration of all your pigments. But actually it's usually a violet, a really dark, almost violet, or almost black. Like you'll see me when I make colors, if I mix 2 or 3 colors together, I can get a very similar color without having to use any black. There's a lot of artists don't. We think he might have had a TIA today. The last 2 days he's acting, he can't eat right. He's been choking on stuff. They said it was dry throat, but I was looking at him this morning, and one eye is like this, and he hasn't been able to. He's eating, but not much. So my daughter, I believe, is taking a permanent, permanent time off. She's coming down. I wouldn't talk to her because he's listening, but he's in the other room, my grandson. Not well. He got him a walker. He's in the walker. He can't make it to the bathroom, so I got him a little bucket. I really don't think that it's really going fast now. He's really going downhill, so it is what it is. What are you gonna do, Yeah. So, and then it's getting a little hard on me, because I get depressed. And it's just doing this and then taking care of him and just trying to take care of the house. I'm driving my grandson now. It's getting to be too much, And he hadn't been able to take a shower the last 3 or 4 days. So I was going to give him a shower later, which would be like the first time I've had to do it. He used to take 2 showers a day. He smells so good all the time, But I got to get him in there tonight. He wants a shower. He told me so. But he needs his walker. He's very wobbly. Can't talk too good. He's lost a lot of weight. Yeah, so they know this. They know this getting to me. So she called me since I talked to work. And so they called my other 2 daughters. They all talk together. And they said that you don't need to talk. I said, Dad's in the other room. We can't because you have to get the phone down. Gotta get to you guys. And it's not out there. So I'll talk to you when I get there. So they were talking about what they're gonna do. So I know early this morning when I was noticing there was something else wrong, he kept saying I can't eat because my mouth's all messed up. It dawned on me he had a stroke. He had to, right? And his one eye is way down, which always was a little bit, and his one eye is turned in because he's legally blind. So I told my daughter, I said, something else going on. So she talked to him on the phone. She thinks she's pretty sure he had TIA. She's a nurse. So she's coming down. I think she's going to stay. So that's going to help me out for a while. Oh, I'm telling you, it's been something. But he's okay, He knows. He keeps talking about it, I keep trying to encourage him, but, he knows. What are you going to do? So, sucks. All right, guys. So then black is like, is actually like a concentration of colors. All these colors like mixed together. But it's not actually a color either. It's just all the colors together. In nature, it doesn't really exist. Not really. It's just a concentration. Like the shadow would be sun. There's no light. So without the light, you don't see no color. When I talk about refraction of light. So anyway, so there's your warm colors. There's your cool colors. And it sounds stupid, but this is important when you learn how to do the washing and scumbling, or however they say it next. So just kind of wanted to go back over the color theory about what's warm, what's cool. Now I left on there the thing about washes. I got this out of one of my books. You're probably using washes in different things and not even know where you're using them. This is gonna be a mess. It's all wet. This is a piece of paper. I'm gonna do one wash for you. I'm gonna show you how it works. I just don't want to mess up all these pages in here. spent half the day looking for stuff. Alright, so. Oh, that's all I did a bunch of more. If you guys want to hang out after this class, I'm going to make a couple. I never even got to the, making, tracers. Alright, so now we're going to talk about glazing, and then we're going to talk about washes and scrumbling. Am I saying that right? Scrumbling, which is really nothing big. All glazing is, it's like, impasto is one type of painting technique, which is almost like that Gaffrey paint, you know how thick it is? And it would be like that medium body paints I use for, there's pictures of it in books, which I should have got a picture of that, but I do with my palette knife. Impasto means really thick, all right? Well, glaze is the exact opposite on the scale. It means extremely, extremely, extremely thin. It's usually just a little color and a lot of medium. In this case, most of the time it would be water, but there is glazing mediums, and they're used for different things. Some don't have no yellowing, some have longer dry times, some have shorter dry times, some leave a little sheen. There's all different mixtures once you get into it, which I don't too much. I usually just use a water base. I use a lot of water and a little bit of color. And I would rather do 2 or 3 layers than use too much. It acts almost like sunglasses, all right? You got something that's too wild and you want it toned down, that's what you're doing. You're going to tone it down like wearing sunglasses. It unifies the color, so if you want everything to look more like one color, or you can just do one spot. So let me show you, okay, let me see. Let's do like that green I had over here. Told you, like everything torn out. Where's my, got a lot of stuff going through. I did a lot of, got a lot of, little landscapes done. Getting ready for my sale Sunday too. All right, so I'm gonna do like I was showing her. Let's say you do a little forest. Let's get your greens. Let's get some let's get the cooler greens. Let's get like cool. These 2 greens are cooler, and you make yourself a little forest. All right, you make yourself a little forest. It's right here is the horizon line, and you make yourself a little forest. You're thinking, oh God, there's too much green. I told you guys about the tip I gave you about putting in some yellow. Just about every green's got some yellow. You need to have some yellow in this. So what you would do is, you gotta dry it. This is just one. There's like a billion ways you can do this, and you can break no rules with it. You can do a lot of different things. Like I have like a couple paintings I'm gonna go over. I think they're just too loud. And I've done it with things I want to make. I told you I had a coffee table I had done. I had done flowers on it. I did them perfect. And it was too perfect. And it's really not, even then, like 20 years ago, it wasn't style my daughter has it. And I beat it up with yammers and sandpaper. And then over the top, I had done mini wax stain. It's the same idea. You're gonna antique things. You can just use water and one, like my yellow ochre or the sunset yellow or even the Indian summer, and it gives you, or burnt umber too. It's a lot darker. What happens is it gives you that overall older feeling. It's gonna be pretty dry. So here's your little stand of trees, and you know you need some yellow. Maybe there's blue behind here too. I think maybe you should have done that. But now what you would do is you would make yourself a little wash. Now normally, if I'm doing a really big painting, I would take it and I would put it in a, good sized container. Do I got anything here? One of those little cup containers. There's my paper towels I was looking for. Let's see right here. I don't know. Let me get a little something. Let's see what I got over here. What's in here? What do I got in here? Oh, this is glazing medium. Actually, you could use this too. And you get a lot of water. Or a glazing medium. Or any kind of medium you want. You could use like this stuff that I use. You could use this too. This will give it, it's a varnish though. And you would use a little bit of whatever yellow you want. So I'm going to use a combination of the warmer yellow because I use cool. And I want the opposite. Alright. And you mix it in the water. Very, very, very thin. It's very thin. It's watery. And it has just a touch of color. I get too much green in the brush. Now see, now it doesn't even look yellow. Let's go back over this corner and do it yellow again. I think my water is dirty too. Alright, so that looks a little more yellow up here. So you're, let's try. So you're just going to brush over this. And you're going to tone the whole thing down. So that makes it look more golden. Alright, so now we're going to talk about scrumbling. Now normally the rest are a little blue. There would be a little blue back here because, you know, there's some sky back here. So let's just kind of rough in some sky here. So that blue is going to mix in with this yellow, but not a lot. Pretty thin. Now, scrumbling, on this page, is basically a combination of glazing, washes, and putting on impasto, thicker color over the top. So we had done that little glaze. You put this yellow on. Okay. Now, the trees are still green, but they had a little yellow to them. But now you want to still kick that color up a little bit. You can go back with a lighter green or yellow, and you can scrumble over the top of it. It's a combination, scrubbling is a combination of impasto thick and glazes underneath or washes. So you're like adjusting the colors, all you're really doing. It's just a technique. You can do all different variations. I'm going to show you a couple more here in a minute. So this is basically scrumbling. And scrumbling can be, you can do it with your palette knife, you can do it with a fork, you can do it with your fingers, but you got to have separation of the color. That's the other thing about scrumbling. It's a very vague term because you don't really see the word used too much, but once in a while it's going to come up. I told you guys when you go to fancier classes, this is how I felt with hairdressing. And with this too, I would go to a class and they start talking things about scrumbling and temperatures and hues and shades, and you're like, yeah, I know that. You don't know that. So scrumbling is one of those things that gets thrown around a lot, but really it has no real meaning. It's just something that they use. It was used. I found this in one of my old books. Now, if I've had this book 30 years and she's been dead for 25, the book's probably 40 years old. It's one of the Van Wyck books. So this is one of the things she talked about. But it's not something you see too often anymore. They got a lot of new techniques out there now. All right, so scrumbling. Get in there. You mix a glaze with a pigment, impasto, thick paint, scrumble together but not mix. You know how like I do call it cinnamon roll. I have like 3 or 4 different colors and I twirl them. That's like impasto, or like scrumbling. And then you can dab, scrub, brush, or I don't know, I can't even writing, or anything over the top of, vaguely over the top of any kind of wash or whatever, glaze. So it's usually a thick color over thin. And basically, that's kind of what Bob Ross did. He did a wet on wet technique, and that's basically what it is. It's a wet on wet technique. It's one of many. I'm sure a lot of them never got a name for it. Bob Ross is famous for a lot of them, but it speeds up painting because he always puts, you know, thick over thin. So you start out with thin layers. Now that's oil paint, but the same thing applies with all your paints except for maybe watercolor. It's thin, 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 thin. When you get towards the end, then you start building the thickness. Even when I do my palette knife, I do everything I build. I'm building. So scrumbling really applies more towards the end of the painting when you get all these washes and stuff on, but it's actually kind of a Bob Ross thing, wet on wet. So, all right, so now we're going to talk about, see, like a lot of this stuff we will be using. You probably don't even know we're using it. We have used it. Get that one. I want to do, where's my washes? Glazing, scrumbling, washes, wet on wet. I put that in there already. All right, so let me show you. You can do all different kinds of like temperatures and things. Let me see, like let's say you do a, let's say you decide you haven't got any orange in the house and you want to make an orange. Let's do this. I got this this new red apple I got. It's a nice red. But this red has, you can tell, it's got just the slightest. I put it over here. It's a warm color. But it's got a nice yellow, orangey base. And you say, okay, I'll mix this red. Maybe it's all you got. And I got this yellow. It's a little cooler yellow. And I mix it. And I say, oh, that's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, it's not too bad. So I make myself an orange. And you look at it and you go, that's really not, it's not orange enough. You know, you kind of mixed it. You probably threw orange in, if you're like me, 7 times. You go, oh, God, it's just not orange enough. It's not the right orange. It's not what I want. So this is where glazing would come in handy. You really would want that lighter yellow. So you say, okay, I'm going to have to go buy this yellow. So you don't have to, but you could. So when you go and you correct that color, you're gonna put some water in there, which is, I gotta have rinse this brush. I don't know where my paper plates are. I sent my grandson in here. I don't know what he did with them. He wanted them last night. And I'm gonna make a thin. This is something that you probably do all the time. You're gonna thin out. You don't always use thick color. You're gonna thin out some yellow. And dry that out a little bit. Great way to do color correction, people. Or, you know, you weren't looking at the base of the color and didn't realize it was whatever it was. So this is going to kind of orange up your color. And you can do that as many times as you need to do it. But basically it's thin. The advantage of washes and glazes is that it's hard to make a mistake. You know, because you're putting it on thinly. Whereas if you go over this with that yellow, it's going to end up looking like a lemon. It's not going to look like an orange. Yeah, so I'm waiting for her to come down right now. I don't know. It takes her about an hour and a half, but she might be packing her clothes. I don't know. She was online talking to her sister, so I'll do that again. Make a nice little wash with the yellow. And water. This way you know you're not going to get crazy. Then okay, you got a little more orangey than it was, what you wanted. You'll see I'm taking the paint off because I didn't let it dry. Then you can go back over and you can fix it with the reds and the oranges. You guys see I'm doing those, they're paying me. I mean, I only made like $188 right now, but I couldn't figure out some of it. And they give you time limits on what you have to do. So now my goal is to reach 50,000 likes, 50,000 watches where they watch me. I'm at 33. And I don't know what happens after that. Then I guess you get another big bonus. So I don't know. So I'm like, okay. So, and they invited me. I guess, you know, with the stars, you guys asked me why I don't get stars. You get invited. And I looked at it. And I'm probably getting close. But you got to have so many, I told you, 3-second views and all that kind of stuff. So you see, that helped a lot. You get a little more orange out of it. Then you can fix it by scrumbling. Come over top and adjusting your color. Alright, so let's see what else. That's pretty much it as far as the washes and stuff go. But the washes can be used like in a variety of things. Let me see. I have this old painting. And I want to make it a little more antique-y looking. So you could take your glaze, tone down this green, and I'm going to make, what's the opposite of blue would be yellow, right? It's green, yellow's blue, so I could probably use anything across the color wheel that'll tone it down a little bit. Here's my wheel. Just make green and yellow. Right here, this is one of these colors. So I want to use a violet. Alright, so that would be like a red and a blue. So we'll mix, it's kind of a warm blue, red. We'll mix red. Wash this brush out. We'll mix red and blue. Make kind of a violet. I had those little paint things I made last week and I don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. I have a bunch and I gotta wash out. They come in handy for like a bazillion things. No one would live with that one. I just had it in my hand. Oh, here. It's got a little bit of medium in it. I'm gonna keep it. So there's your two colors. You can kind of see the color you want. You do a little blue. I want a violet and a little red until I get a violet I want. Right now I'm going to thin the crap out of it, so you need a lot of water in it. Whoa. If you had something that had a lot of white and you wanted more of an antique-y look, this is something you could do too. Get some of that white down. You could use a really big brush here. I use these big old paint brushes for a lot of stuff. Old Dollar Tree brushes, I love them. And then I can make a wash. And what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to tone that down. Now you can go around this whole thing, or you can go around it or whatever. But you see now you cooled the whole thing off. You got a whole different feel now. Pretty cool. Actually, I think I like it better. So, and you could dry this and go as many times you want, tone it down. I had several paintings where I couldn't, they're so glaring, you know. I'm trying to get this farmhouse look, and this is where washes are good. But they're also great, you know, it's something you use in oil painting when you make major mistakes, and you really can't change the paint. But you can change the tone. I made those eggs look bluer, didn't it? Dry it out a little bit. And you're not stuck to just doing one color. If you get done, and if you think that's too thick, you can thin it out, depending on how brave you are. You can say, okay, you know something, I think it still needs to be a little bit more yellower. So you could go back to the yellow and white and go over it again. You know what I mean? Or you could just maybe do this section and a little yellow and white, hit some with water over here, and warm this section up. You gotta make sure your painting is dry though. So you warmed it up, that area up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but I think you got the idea. But these are great, these those cheap dollar store brushes for doing large pictures. I have like, so this is a Bob Ross, my old Bob Ross. Good old Bob. These brushes, you know something, these brushes are old. This is a 2-inch, this is what you see using this video. They last forever. The only thing is, get chipping in the handles, but I like them. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for the class. Now next week, we're going to be doing Starry Night, just for fun. I think it'll only take 2 weeks. Now, I had told a few of you to do the 18 by 32, but I got one here. I did say 16 by 20. It doesn't matter. I pretty much know it by heart. It's one of those things that's very structural, so you could actually learn the painting and just whenever you want to do it, just do it. You know, if you know how to do the sky, you can do the sky on something like a t-shirt, you know, or something. I've seen people do all bits and pieces of the painting, so I don't really need to, I know it pretty good. I've done it many times. I sold one. I don't know if the other one sold, and I put one in the charity, and I got one hanging up, so I've done it many times. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to pick out some kind of painting, or you can pick out some kind of painting. We'll get that started before Christmas. And then I thought maybe we do one Christmas thing, like we did the Halloween one. We'll do a tracer. What, I don't know, but whatever you guys want, something fun. But the plan for this is, I had thought I was going to do another group, which is just a pain in the ass, because, you know, I just don't like the groups, because I have to do all the work. And the one girl before she took the tribe thing and did the membership, she had a group. She does like 4 tracers a month for like $10. Like I told you, you can get tracers anywhere. That's the problem. And I've actually bought tracers off people, licensed. Only people like me can have them. And then you hope they don't release them. And then I get them from PPHQ. I pay for that. It's $47 a month. I'm in there and learn all this stuff from them, which is great because I need the help. You know, the internet's changing all the time. So anyways, to make a long story short, a few of them tried just doing the tracers and having a membership. It didn't work. People all dropped out. But nobody's doing like what I'm doing, actually teaching every week, like teaching, you know what I mean? So that's one bonus for me. But then the thought of starting another group is just driving me crazy. So I seen that another artist, she was putting her tracers that only she does, which is what I wanted to do anyways, into her group. My problem is I think a few people think it's too advanced for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple videos, which you guys can watch too. And it's going to be for newbies. It'll be about paint, you know, about starting out, what you're going to need, all that stuff I usually teach in my regular classes. Just so when they get in there, they won't be intimidated. And that'll be part of the path. That changes it again, but that's okay. So they're going to be able to just go in there and do the traces, the easy stuff, okay? Because you guys are a little more advanced. You guys have been doing tracers, obviously, for a while. And then they can move on to just watching us, and then maybe later on painting with us on Thursdays. So it kind of gives you both worlds for one price. And I'm not going to be doing any more of those launches. They make me nuts. I'm going to do something similar to a launch. I'm just going to put it in the email, and I'm going to put ads out. But I'm not going on the internet begging people to sign up. And it's pretty much open all the time now. So if somebody wants to get in, and because I had people ask, no one's got in yet, and I couldn't answer their question about, you know, how advanced is it? You know, when I took that course, she says you have to be clear. You know, the more clear you are, the more likely you are to make the sale. You can't be vague. So now I can clearly say, I have it set up for newbies. You know, I have what you're going to need, what you got to buy, and I got tracers in there, and then you can move on. So that gives me a clear answer. So that's going to help. Is it locking up on you? Well, you would think there wouldn't be so many problems. Now, today's problem, they had a Zoom meeting, which I couldn't do all of it, so I had to get Jacob and stuff and get this thing ready. People sell stuff on the marketplace, and they're getting notices that they can no longer do business, which makes no sense, right, on the marketplace. I think they're trying to figure it out. I think what it is they only want business pages to do certain business, because people on the marketplace are like garage sale people, because I've been denied. I got a lot of groups I'm not allowed in because I'm selling from my page, and it's not for, you know, like mom and pop, you know, you're having garage sale out front, you know, and you get the baby carriage and stuff yourself. It's not that.
Sorry.
So people were...
Not mom is here, so the dog's going to get very loud.
All right, it's okay. My grandson. So I think, so the people got cut right off. So like one has a sled party, like 50 people, you know, $40 a piece, like $2,000, right? And they cut her right off. She can't advertise on her site at all. So that's the problem with Facebook, Jim. You never know how it's going to go. buttons move, things change, things cutting in and out on me. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you. So hopefully keep up, because you're way far away. You got me now? You love my puppy? He's a noisy puppy. He just had a birthday, I got a thing from the vet. The 21st, he was 12 years old. He actually, you hear him? He acts like we're going, he loves my grandson too. Oh! What are you crying about? Come here, Sam. What you crying about? Oh, he'll be back. Come here. He'll be back. Come here. He'll be back. He's gonna be right at the door until he gets back. He's coming. He's helping his mother with some stuff. Anyway, so here's the one I did earlier. I'm gonna do a little trace so you can kind of watch me, and if you guys ever see me do one. Usually I do this on parchment paper, but I do use the Mylar, which is what I use in painting with a twist. But I need to copy this to make a tracer for you guys. That, and I am going to do, I wasn't thrilled about the angel, but now that I look at it, I think I am going to keep the angel. I'll be done with my class in a little bit, Jennifer. There's the angel. I think what it is, I got her a little crooked, but that's okay, you know? But I thought it would be fun because you just make these circles and then you can take whatever colors you want. You know, you want a fun painting, has to be easy. So I could do a tracer on the angel. This you can write it any way you want, you know? And they can just color in whatever colors they want. So they give them an option. So I think it will be a fun painting, which you know I like fun art. So anyway, so I'm going to take this Mylar, and when I'm doing it with the tracing, or with the so you could do this with a lot of stuff. If you got a picture of something, like your dog or something you want to do, this is the way you could do it. Or you can't do anything with really fine lines. But I will use like a regular pen or a Sharpie. But when I'm doing something like this and I want a permanent one at the other place, I would make this template and then I would cut it out right to the shape of the Santa. And then I would, each one, if I had 10 people, if I had 40 people, I would go in half an hour early and I would pencil or trace on every one. It made my life a lot easier, and a lot of people love doing it because they're there to have fun. They don't want to be stressed out over a painting, you know. So that's how they came to be. All right. Well, you know, the thing with this Santa was, when I first seen it, I thought it was, she did it, I thought it was a PPHQ. But you know something, I've seen this Santa all over. And this is like a vintage Santa. These are actually on like old, similar ones. That's not for exactly, right on old postcards and stuff. So then she does have tracers on it. You know, you can look up the tracer, because I can do that, because I'm a member. So I looked up the tracer, and there's no small. There was one long one she did, and there was one small one, but there was no 16 by 20s, no circular. And so I had nothing. Of course, you know, I don't have to use a tracer. I can just look at a painting and do it. But once I do it, I have to trace it because the people want exactly how I did it. So I put it on there knowing that, you know, there's no license on this as far as I know. Because if that was the case, you see all the stuff. People are doing it all over everything. And it's not just us. So basically, I'm just taking this, it's a chalk, pencil, or crayon. But when I do the parchment paper or wax paper, I just do it with a pen. This just gets a little slippery, so it's better with this. It's a chalk pencil, but it has a little bit of like wax in it. It does come off though. This Mylar is old. It's old Mylar. So as long as I get it close, I'm pretty happy. So there's a way to do this better. They have a thing called Procreate. It's a program. See, I got it really circular. Should I copy the circle? I'm debating about the circle because This could be done on a square too. This is square right here. So let me just kind of, I'll just like do this right here. But you could do this, on a piece of regular paper or canvas. This is, I think, a 12-inch round. Oops, a 12-inch round. So you got 11 by 12 piece of paper. This is 12. See, it could be done. 12 for canvas. Yeah, it's 12. 12 by 12. It's a 12-inch circle. I hate telling people something that I'm wrong. I want to make sure it's all 12, so 12 would be the same, right? Yeah. So, all right, so you could do this on a regular canvas this size. So now I would take a piece of copy paper, because this is what I'm going to do it through people's email. Now normally, if I was at the other place and I was doing a live class, I would make a stencil out of this. It's really hard to do a stencil on 40 canvases with this flimsy paper. Okay, you can't do that. You have to have something hard. So this is what I use now. I'm going to need 2 pieces of paper. This one's not going to cut it. Yeah, I'm going to need to, let's kind of do it further up this way. So, my kids came down last week and they made some different dinners. I mean, I did do some cooking, but I was going crazy. Cooking all this food and either nobody ate it or I throw it away. It's so many, I hate wasting stuff. So they, I might need 3. You wonder how you end up with 3 tracers, this is why. So then what I do is, get this thing covered right. So if you use a circle, I want you to be able to use it. Alright, so now what I gotta do is, make sure I know where this paper is gonna go. Like this. This, so you guys will be able to know that. And I get a piece of tape. What do I got? See how they dried like a little bluish? Came out pretty. Actually, I like it better now. Well, I had a flamingo. Where's my flamingo? I have a flamingo tape measure. Yeah, at the dollar store. Don't you just love the dollar store? Such a big kid. I love flamingos. I like pink. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of tape these all together. So anyways, this Procreate, you can you do it out like on your computer or like your iPad. And then it'll print out any size you want, which is nice. Because if I wanted to do poster size, I use this company, I think it's called Poster Board or Poster something. I always have to look it up. And they will make things bigger because obviously it's not going to fit in my printer. Alright, so now you need copy paper. A bunch of stuff down here. I stained a couple. Oh, I guess frame's sitting over here. I stained it and I don't know, I didn't sand it right. Parts of it chipped off, so I'm messing with it. Where's all my copy paper? I just bought a new one. So you would obviously take three pieces of copy paper, which I think is in this other bucket, of course. Way in the back down here. Yeah. So if you guys ever wanted to know how to copy something, you're going to know how to do it now. Yeah, there it is. I just dumped half of it over. Oh, it's another mess. Oh, no. This is my inkjet canvas paper. That's not it. just had it in my hand. It's here, folks. Give me a minute. Use this one. So anyways, this is how I do it. And then I told you there's a white one out now. So if you had something with a black, I'll use some old ones. If you had something with a, just a white one. That's not a white one, it's different. If you had something with a dark background, you could do it. Now this is the other paper because I do that when it gets all over. Oh, what do they call that? I got a whole bunch right here. Graphite. See the problem with the graphite? That's what the problem with graphite is. So you make sure it's like copy paper without graphite. I mean, mostly it's graphite, but there's a good many of it. The one I order off of Amazon doesn't have it. All right, so now what I do is I take this off and I do this. I have to get it as close as I can. That's why sometimes it's a little wonky. If for some reason I can't get it the way I want it. Or it has to overlap. I mean, I could sit here and cut all these pieces off, but that's no fun. We could do this for Christmas if you guys want to. Think you guys can find a round or get a small canvas. The rounds I have seen at like Hobby Lobby. I've seen them at Walmart. Which I gotta look for. I have a great big hole puncher. It's for wood. I put it away like 2 weeks ago. I can't find it. Oh my God, that's what I was looking for. I need that, and I couldn't find my folder because now I sticker all my own stuff when I take it up to that place to sell. It's another whole story. I found that like 5 minutes ago with my stickers in there. Oh my God, then I had to learn how to do that. I had never made my own price tags. Which is a good thing to do because, you know, I think I told you this. But there's other places that do. I don't even have to be there. It's so nice. And I keep track of my stuff right here on my computer. It tells what it sold. You know, it tells you how much you owe because you pay rent. So I don't want these anywhere where they're going to... I want to be able to... I'm going to just kind of tape this down a little bit so it doesn't shift. Like where this crosses over, you gotta worry about the pen getting through. And I don't want it to shift. Make sure it comes all the way to the end. That should be good. And then you go back. And there you go. Make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay. I tape it down again. Now this Mylar, you can buy it. It's kind of expensive. But I buy my, obviously, I buy my canvas by like the 5 packs and 10 packs. And usually to keep them separated, some of the canvas, they wrap some in plastic, some they don't wrap, but what they use is this Mylar. So basically you get 1 to 2 sheets. So I save it, I got a whole pile over there. But you can buy it. I'll even keep the little bits and pieces if I need to keep a few pieces too in case I need them. Alright, so now this doesn't gotta be exact, but I got my pen. See my pen? I got that from Diverse Woodworking. I get all my wood cutouts now. Okay, I just want to kind of make this round parts here. I'm going to put a note on here that it can be round or it can be square. Alright. Now you just got to get this close. I've been going back over it with a pen because the lines on this, when you do this like this, are so small. Now, when we did animals, we did Paint a Pet. I never got back into it. I did it when I was there, but there's it looks almost like a projector, and you put the picture of the animal or whatever you're doing. We did everything you could think of, prairie dogs, horses, and you put it in this machine that magnifies. We would take the 16 by 20, put it on a little nail, put it on the wall. We would sit down, it's right at the end of the table, and we put the projector on it, and then we sit there with a pencil, and we would pencil in every little itty bitty piece. Same idea, except you're not using anything other than the wall and a projector. They run about $70, which is really a good gig because they charge a lot of money for that. Of course, you do got to have experience with like flesh tones and dog hair and that kind of stuff. People love doing that. Was some of the funnest the kids classes and the animal classes. People, I mean, they would like make connections, make friends, and talk about their fur babies, and just, it was a lot of fun. A couple glasses of wine. I always had problems with the eyes. I was getting a little better at it, but that wasn't my thing. But I'd be surprised how many people, we would mix up, if they had just a black dog or whatever, which would actually use some blue too. We'd mix up the exact colors that they would need, and we would explain it to them. And they kept the classes small, so it would be like, for every 4 people, there'd be like 1 artist. And we'd never have over like 15 would be the most we might have in a class. Because, it's a little more time consuming than the other stuff. And we'd have to have all those paint, all the things ready before the class, all drawn out. So there you go. Now what I got to do now is, see how light those lines are? I go back. Now last time I found this blue highlighter, which showed up good with my last stencil. Know where they put it. Some more junk. That won't work. You need like any kind of blue, violet, or purple, or black. Not orange or red. I mean, they'll be okay, but sometimes they don't show up on the copier. All right, and a blue. I had a few people who didn't know how to do it. I got some new people. Because I've been doing those reels, I got a bunch of people. Well, I had like 15 new people. It's not a ton, but it's a lot. And they don't know how to do tracers, so... I know I got one on YouTube, but I might just do one. Do a couple. When I do the my regular class, my free classes, I'll just do a tracer. I've done that before, just so people have an idea. So it hasn't got to be exactly, but you want people to be able to copy this as close as they can get. Right, that's right. Now I want to discuss how many times I've had to go back over these. I made a big old boo-boo. Yes, it happens. So I would love to have the Procreate, but I don't want to spend $400 on a laptop, or what are they? iPad? I just bought this laptop. And then, things are getting better and better every day. I mean, I don't really actually make that many of these as I used to. Alright, so now you got the idea. It's alright. No cussing. No swear words. Put me in Facebook jail. I'm almost done. Honestly, so I'm going to put 12 by 12 inch or larger on 12-inch round. Vintage Santa. And this is there's 1, 2, 3. This is top left. And this would be bottom right. So now, what I would do is, which I can't finish this with you guys, so what I do is I take a picture just like that with my camera. Alright. So then it's up and it'll go right up into my, my photo section. I have an iPhone. Any kind of photo thing. And I would take a picture of each one of these. And then I would download it. I don't know what you guys have. I have Google Drive. I also have there are places where you save your all kinds of like Google Docs and all that kind of stuff. But the one I use is HP Smart, which is my copying machine, which is in Envy. And then I save everything to my Google. It's where I keep all my information, all my tracers, all my paintings, even my bills, for this business. So after I take a picture of this, all right, I download it to there, and then I send it over to my HP Smart, and it makes me a copy of each one, and that's what you get sent. This is what you get sent. Now, if I try doing that again, it will only take the original painting. I can't take a copy of this and send it back over to the docs, put it in the Google Drive, and send it to it won't take it. And also, these new ones are smart. If anything that has like a license on it, like some people have their names in there, it'll pop up like it's it's a license. Are you sure you can do this? You can't do it with any kind of logo. There's a little thing that says, so it's really a good thing. I know even years ago when I go to like Kinko's to get stuff done, they wouldn't do it. So that's how you do it. So basically I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it into my drive to save, and then over to my copier, my HP Smart. All right, I'll see you later. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Thanks. We're doing the best we can. Thank you. The pen, the blue pen. This pen. Well, it's like we were talking about one day. I said, I got my woodworking pen. Because I finally made some big orders. I had smaller orders, but then I started ordering these and the sleds and lots of other stuff. And it's like when you get one of these pens, that means you spend a lot of money with diverse woodworking. And as far as our group, it's like a rite to passage. And we all are like, I felt the same way when I got this. I felt like someone gave me my scepter, like the queen. We're all laughing. So it's like kind of a little prize. But yeah, isn't it cool? But the name of the company is, I don't know if you can see it's back with Diverse Woodworking. But isn't it cool? Yeah. It's one of those things that you're like, it's like if I lose this pen, I will kill somebody. I really love this pen. Isn't that pen cool? Yeah. Oh yeah. But I say that's mine only because I had to do it by hand. So I've seen other ones, they're similar, but they're not the same. But everybody's doing them. So if you guys want to do that, I want to do one fun one. And then, like I said, we're going to do the Starry Night, which is fun. You don't have to do it on a big size. You can do it really small, too. But I'm going to do it on a 16 by 20. And I'm actually going to paint over a couple things that are ugly. So I'm just going to paint the whole background blue and white, and then we're going to do the painting. So, because I got some I taught in the classes, I'm never gonna, I don't think anybody's even gonna want to buy them. Sometimes I get done with the class, I never get done with the painting, and then someone go home and do it, and I don't. I raffle off the one I originally did, because that's, you know, I took my time, and I'm home, and have a drink of soda, I take my time. But, you know, when I'm in the class, I'm talking, I'm a motor mouth, I'm running around checking everybody's workout, and they're all fat and happy and sassy. They don't even get close to my painting. And I raffle off the other one, or I'd have two of them. So I'll either A, if I really like the painting, I'll come home and finish it. If it's one of mine, if it's PPHQ or anything they're licensed to buy, then I can either got to raffle it off or wait until it comes up again for another class. If it's popular, I keep it. If not, it's getting painted over. So I'm having my sale, you guys know, Sunday and Monday. And there'll be a lot of good stuff in there. I just bring a whole bunch of paintings that I bring back from up there that didn't sell. Nothing wrong with the paintings. I think the place is too new yet. And paintings take a while to sell. But some of them are really nice. So the highest is going to be $25 and the lowest will be $5. And you pay the shipping. That's a good deal. Because I saw my paintings, you know, the good ones for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'll wait until I get the right money. So, anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same station. And now you know how to make a tracer too. See the things you learn in my class? That's why you got to take my class. It's going to be $24. I lowered it to $24 all the time. So when I have the sale, I think it's going to be $20 or $21. But I'm not doing I'm not stressing myself out. Either you love me or you don't. It's crazy the way they teach you how to do that. So they call it open cart. And I'm learning about that. But basically, I'm just working on the site. I got a couple other ideas what I'm going to do. Some interesting things. So you guys will see a few changes. If you think there's something I can improve on or something I should add, like you guys had suggested a while ago with the tracers, and I didn't want to do that because everybody else was doing it. But on the other hand, for the newbies, that's a good thing. You know, it's like a store. You can, you know, you go to even a salon. You could go to get your nails done, get a manicure, you could get a pedicure, you could get the fake nails. You know, you get choices now, so that's a good thing. So if you get any other ideas, I'm always open, you know, and I appreciate everything you guys have done. And your concern and your love, and I do appreciate it. So, anyways, guys, I'll probably see you, I'm sure, at least sit in on Sunday and Monday, and then we got my free class Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday I got you guys. Somebody busy all week. Saturday we're going to go load up all the stuff I'm going to sell from that place and bring more stuff home, see what I'm going to sell. So I'm going to have some good stuff. All right, guys, so I'll see you later. Have a great night. You did? Okay, ciao, guys. All right, bye.